And we are live. Welcome back, everybody. Back again. Dip Catcher Radio. Live and in the mix. Thankful to be here today. Thankful for all of you. Shout out to people in the chat. Let's see what they have to say. Basicus says, yo, man, that's a lot of team. You believe they're holding or using team for profit? Who knows? Their choice. Their keys, their cheese, their choice. A lot can happen. A whole lot can happen. Our brother name, the rocket ships to the moon, to the stars. Intergalactic. You know what's going on. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. More importantly, click that share button. Like I always say, if you have a friend that's been on the sidelines, waiting to get into crypto, but just never made the move, now's the time. We have about 8 days left of the Maximus TEAM and Perpetuals minting. The Perpetuals are the best way to stake Hex. You experience increased yield than staking on your own, 99% gas fee savings, and you can cash out at any time. So what more could you want? Perfect for new hexagons. Team is the Maximus DAO Team member token. Team earns a little bit of yield from all the pools, and it's really got its own supply and demand dynamics, and so it can really take on a life of its own. And so we have 5 awesome options for newcomers into the space. Learn more at maximusdao.com. Also, look at my tweets. There's an onboarding guide for new people that I've published. So just search like Panto Nomini onboarding or something, and you'll find a document that is really helpful for helping new people get started. And this is like the best. Like, so it's pretty funny because like all your friends, it's like they want to hear about crypto when the prices are mooning, and then it's crickets whenever the prices are not, whereas like now is like the opportunity to get in. And so if you're a good friend, you will assist your friends in seizing these opportunities, because this team is a one-time only mint, and these perpetuals, you don't get in now, you have to wait like a year for base, 3 years for trio, 7 years for lucky, 10 years for DECI, or you'll just have to buy them off someone who already minted. So very important to let your friends know what's going on and expand our Maximus DAO community. Derek Boyd says, yeah, buddy. D says, yo, DC, let's go. We saw the live stream yesterday. We didn't have too many viewers. It was kind of a off-hour weekend stream. And when we saw live on the air that the Hedron Deployer minted their 5-5-5-5-5-5-5 team, and it was pretty wild. It was actually incredible what happened. And seeing it live on air, that was like historic footage that I think will go down in the history books. Fallas says not enough liquidity on ETH-POW MAXI Hex for a buy. I mean, I haven't really looked at the liquidity. It's like all the coins are there, and you just got to kind of figure it out. It's like a whole different, like the whole, because it's like a brand new thing and like not many users are on it yet. It's hard to even measure what is enough liquidity, because like what do those numbers even mean? Because like kind of like the network is kind of scaled down a little bit from compared to the ETH mainnet. So I don't know, just see what type of price execution you get, and then you'll just have to see from there. Derek asks, when perp staking? So what he's asking about is the Maximus Diamond Hands staking contract, which lets you time lock your perpetual pool tokens, and then earn extra yield if you hold your perpetual pool tokens for the whole entire stake duration. And the audit for that contract is back on the 22nd, and we're almost done with the front ends. And so provided that comes back without any issues, then we're just going to go live. So hopefully that'll start on the 22nd, and that'll give you 4 days to lock in for this first year. We wish it could have been done earlier, but that's just how it goes. That's what no expectations means. But we're trying to get this out as soon as we can. Ender Gavia says Maxi Team Premium would be insane. Yeah, what is that? What's that price chart going to be? That's like, because it's like the Maxi Hex chart. It's like you kind of knew, like literally, we put it on the chart, like or on the website. We were like, okay, it's probably going to oscillate between premium. Sometimes it's going to be at a premium, sometimes it's going to be a discount, and it kind of makes sense that right out the gate it just shoots up to a premium because it's like, okay, if you just minted, like why would you just sell right away? And so and there's more people that didn't mint than the people that did mint, and so it has a lot of room for the premium. But with this Maxi Team one, that's this whole other thing because it's such a hard decision, the people that do mint their team are probably going to really treasure it. And so there just may not be much team for sale, or like much appetite to quickly sell your team. And also, as of now, about like 75% of the team that has been minted is staked. And so you're already having a lot less available supply that could sell. And I think that the people that aren't staking their team, they're probably just looking for like a high multiple pump to be able to sell into. That's why they're not staking. But, like, why would that be like right out the gate, a couple percent gain, so that one will take on a whole mind of its own. And then what's interesting is that it's like the team minting phase kind of injected some value into Maxi by means of the 20% burn and the 30% like 369 rebate, where those Maxi are held in escrow and then trustless escrow smart contract that redistributes them to team stakers across years 3, 6, and 9. So on one hand, team kind of injects value into Maxi, but also because of that 369 escrow, which can inject value into team. And during years, at least during the first 9 years, team is partially backed by Maxi, meaning it's like, it can earn, if you hold the stake team, you can earn the Maxi. On that hand, it's like the higher the Maxi value goes, the more valuable the team can go. And so it's kind of this like dual value injection that goes on, and who knows what that means for the price. Impossible to predict. It's truly impossible to predict. Is it safe to swap ETH Dub Maxi to ETH Dub Team if not connected? Yes. Yeah, you can. So if you go to here, I'll post the link right here. One moment. If you go to ePow team.maximus.cash. So that's how you can do that, and it is safe. Well, it's safe to use our stuff. There can be things on ETH Dub that are not safe to use. Just using the network is safe, and we proved it on stream. There was concern that there was some type of risk called a replay attack, but the other day on stream, we actually proved to ourselves in numerous ways that the transactions that you broadcast to the ETH Dub network cannot just be replicated and like rebroadcasted to the ETH network. And so that is not so much of that particular risk that people were worried about isn't a concern. But do be careful on there. Like anytime there's something new, there's scammers trying to do stuff and trying to deceive you. So one way to just make sure that you're doing the right thing is when you're minting your ETHW Maxi to ETHW Team, when you're in MetaMask approving the transaction, just look at the contract address, and the contract address on the ETHW network, it should be identical to the contract address for Team on the Ethereum mainnet. So just like, just as always, I mean, you should always, when you're signing stuff on MetaMask, make sure that you're not, giving away, like just make sure you're reading actually what the MetaMask prompt is saying. Make sure you're on the right contract. Make sure you're not just like giving away access to your wallet outside of what you're, because you do have to approve the transaction, but make sure you're not like approving full access to the wallet. Make sure you're approving a specific amount that you entered. So do be careful there, but you shouldn't run into any issues using your ETH Dub Maxi, ETH Dub Team. I call it ePow. I think there's power in that. Like, pow, pow, pow! Like there's something there. There's like ETH Dub, like, okay. Not so into ETH Dub, but people call it. So when I say ePow, you know what I'm talking about. ETH proof of work. Bane Name says, do we have to stake team right now or can we wait? So you can wait, but if you wait past the end of the minting phase, you cannot earn during the first year. So if you want to earn from the first team staking year, then you need to lock in before the end of the minting phase. So that is going to be on September 26th at 5 p.m. Pacific time. That is also as the day ticks over from September 26th to September 27th on UTC time. So wherever you are in the world, just be aware of that deadline. It's the deadline to mint your team and also the deadline to stake your team. So please be aware of that if you want to lock in your stake for this first year. All right, let's get into the topic of discussion today, which is the craziness we saw unfolding yesterday. Let us find this tweet. 1 second. Share my screen. Crypto Fanatics says Diamond Hands on ePow also. Yes. So we will deploy it to all of them. It may kind of be a headache, but we will bear that headache for you all. Let's quickly share our screen. So let's find it yesterday. So yeah, it was right here. So zoom in a little bit. How's this sound, everybody? Is the music too loud? Or is it distracting in any way? Like, let me know if you think I should turn it off. For static Sunday vibes. So, yesterday we were on stream talking about not even this at all. We were just literally, how bored we were yesterday. We were just like, all right, let's compare the Bitcoin, Doge, and Hex monetary policy. We were just discussing these different like inflation rates, who gets the inflation, and the conclusion was inflation good as long as it's programmatically scheduled. Inflation great if you were the one getting it. And what's great about Hex is that like with these ones you have to be a miner to get the inflation, but with Hex, like anybody, like any person who's like using it as a savings product can get it. So that was like the whole concept we were talking about yesterday. It was like who gets the inflation. And we go on here to tweet it, and then I see this. 5,555,555 team minted by OX F4 yada yada. And then I just like go to the thing, and I'm like, holy shit, it's the Hedron Deployer. And it was pretty amazing just to see that unfold as Jay Plush captured it right here. This is my face. Truly hilarious as it unfolded. Xlove says music way too loud for him. And for that, we will turn it off. No more of that. Sorry about that, dude. So it was pretty funny how yesterday, here, let's just go and find it. Like, yeah, right after this. Right here. Watch this. Looks like we're doing a Twitter space. I said I was down today. Still in dry powder options. You missed out on the copy. I mean, shit. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a lot harder to buy out there. Start with these PPOs. If you are in crowded dry powder, start there. So it is Perpetuals, Maximus. Here it is. Here's the moment. Watch this. This is so funny. Excellent. This is making me relive my least good moment. Right here. Oh my God. We have our new largest team in 5.55 million team. Let's see if that's real. We gotta see if that's someone maybe. Oh my God. It's real. It is very real. Holy shit. Oh my God. How much pending minutes? Hedron Deployer. Hedron Deployer's in. Hedron Deployer in block 155555. Oh my God. If they were 30 blocks earlier, their block number would have been identical to. Wow, welcome to the team, man. Welcome to the team. Our largest Maximus in the team. Congratulations. The Hedron Deployer, Hedron Deployer has joined the team. Honor, honor to be your teammate. To Maximus. Wow, we saw that live on the air, guys. Oh my God. We saw that live on the air. That's incredible. Hedron Deployer. What does that mean for the. Wow. What does it mean for the holders chart now? Wow. And with their purchase, it cements the mystery box as the largest holder. Wow, that's incredible, you guys. We have our largest. Let's go to the team dashboard.amble.app. What an amazing development. I sent it to okay, it hasn't. Oh, this happens every hour. So let's go manually go through here. Dashboard. Run our console here. Here we go. Word handle.server. Handle.server.call. Launch. Recording fast. Should be a couple minutes. Wow, love it. Amazing development. You should see this update here in a couple minutes. That's incredible. And talk about here, guys. Amazing. I love thinking for really everything that house like every Sunday. It's awesome. And then MAXI launch. And because Hedron launch, I love so I'm really thankful that for really everything that Alex has done with Hedron. Like Hedron is it's been so awesome to be launching these products kind of in tandem with each other, where like Hedron launched and then MAXI launched. And because Hedron launched a couple weeks before, MAXI was able to, include that in our ecosystem. So like we gain so much value from them. And I know I've kind of been a little critical of just the behavior that I posted is encouraged. And I always caveat where it benefits the stakeholders because if everyone else is driving the price up of gas, stakeholders aren't as impacted by that. They only benefit from it. And so I've been critical on just the behavior response. But overall, it's really awesome kind of building around the same ecosystem where where there's competition in some ways, which is good. And competition is amazing. Like that's I feel like if there's no Hedron, if there's no Alex, maybe I wouldn't be pushing so hard, And so I really appreciate you having someone in the ecosystem. In one way, it's a serious competitor, and that's like very talented, very productive, but also there's some symbiosis where it's like, we're kind of building around the same ecosystem, both trying to like advance the financialization of X. And there's also some serious symbiosis, especially with how like team earnings, like a big part of this is Hedron, Maximus, it's going to be one of the largest holders of Hedron and might be in that state. So it's pretty, I'm truly blessed to be able to have like a counterpart with Alex through all this, and it's exciting. Oh my gosh, just like that. Cool for me to go to that email and then the deployer. Where's our and this was coming 15 minutes ago. So keep us out and we're going to be talking 30 minutes. And deploy this 15. Let's see if this is something that supposed to be running. That means that that's all right, so then should hear about that word. Boost. Why not? And mystery box. 23 million mystery box. And it was exciting. 23 million mystery box. And the rest 21 million. And so, what a moment. Awesome. This is incredible. What does that do for the next year? So since that's happening, I believe next we'll look at this on the transaction. That's amazing. I love this. All right, we'll pause it there. So that was the moment that we saw the that big minting, and It's kind of, it's pretty awesome just how we have these, probably like the two, I'd say like the two leading like hex adjacent ecosystems are Hedron and Maximus. And it's kind of cool how, like with, it's like, Hedron on their own, doesn't implement anything with, our stuff. But with our stuff, like Hedron's a big piece of it, right? Like with Maxi, it got the 5x bonus for the Hedron. The Maxi contract is going to hoard that Hedron till redemption. So Maxi is kind of like providing a lot of price support for, like all that Hedron that's it can be minted over time, but it's not actually ever going to hit the market until the Maxi redemption. So we're kind of providing a lot of price support in that way. I haven't looked at what percent of the total, even though we're getting that 5x bonus in Maxi, and Maxi is it's shark number I think shark number 15. So it's like top 20 something stakes or staking accounts. So it is one of the largest holders of Hedron. And especially by the time, because most of those large accounts that get a lot of the Hedron, their stakes will have ended in, you know, in the years or months before Maxi. So at the time that Maxi comes out, it'll be like one of the largest holders of Hedron. And so, we're providing some level of price support in that sense. But the but then when as soon as I saw that the through the Watts, like with the ICOSA launch and then the Watts minting, when I saw that Maxi was in that supported tokens list, I was like, okay, this is interesting. Like, what's the game here? And so then when I saw how much went into that, we're like, oh wow, a lot of it really did come from just like a small handful of addresses. Like if you looked at the large Maxi holders before that and then after that, it's basically like they just kind of consolidated into like it seemed like some of our largest holders just kind of consolidated into that, into the Watson thing. And so those Maximus Hedron Deployer. And so like, most of it came from a handful of transactions. And so we saw that happening, and um, and that was kind of, it on like on one hand, it showed just kind of like how valuable Maxi is as an asset, that other projects, when they're not raising money, because it's not what, none of these things, they're not raising money, but just like when like money is being injected into these things, like, the people behind them, they have a choice of what coins they want to take. And so, and Max is included in that, which to me, it signaled a couple things. One, like, excuse me. One is that the Max is just like a very in demand, valuable asset, and so that's part of it. Two, like, I think there certainly can be some type of like competitive aspect to why, a adjacent project would want to be accumulating a lot of this coin, and then also, in a way, preventing other people from kind of, like being able to get a competitor. So I think that there may be some competitive aspect to it, because now it's like um, the the Hedron deployer has, as of now, it's the largest team minter, and so the only, and it's the second largest Maxi holder, and so, perhaps that's, some type of like a competitive hedge, where even though like there's a lot of symbiosis, it still is like, okay, if you're holding one of these coins, it means you're not holding the other one. So there is a competitive aspect to it, and so perhaps it's like a way to just kind of, capture some of the upside of a competitor, which is an amazing strategy. Like, that's kind of what, like, it's like almost like kind of I described, like, um, it's like the stake pooling economy drastically benefits from that, like the behavior that ICOSA causes, like encouraging a lot of people to basically throw their money away, like by locking it into small max length stakes. Um, that behavior directly benefits our ecosystem. Um, but now that it directly benefits our ecosystem and the Hedron deployer is a large holder of that, the Hedron deployer kind of benefits from it as well. So it's kind of like a way to like, perhaps just like capture some of the value, that's created in our ecosystem. Which shows just kind of, it's like they could have done anything with those funds. Their keys, their choice, and they chose to do this. And so, on that, on one hand, that I kind of view that as a like some type of endorsement of of this, and also adds a whole new dynamic where it's not just the mystery box that is like a large holder of both Maxi and Team. Now there's this other address that has a second most Maxi and the second most, um, and so it adds some interesting dynamics there, and and yeah, it's gonna be now it's like the big question is what do they do with it? Do they use it to like uh, do they try to just do they stake all of it in order to try to reduce the earnings for everyone else in the team ecosystem as a way to kind of uh, bolster the earnings in their own staking ecosystem? That's something they could do with it. Um, do they provide just kind of like constant sell pressure as a way to try to prevent the team price from outperforming some of their own ecosystem coins? Absolutely good. Um, do they hoard it and not stake and just like even further boost the Maxi ecosystem? Like they could, and they do have a history of benevolence. I think a brand kind of built around that type of benevolence because when you saw the Maxi or the Watsa contract during that minting phase, they just like burnt a million Maxi, and the only people that benefit from that were just other Maxi holders because it's basically like they just gave all their Maxi to all the rest of the Maxi holders equally. So it is pretty, um, it is pretty exciting now. Now we can all speculate on what is going to happen, um, you know, and anything could happen. You thought the mystery box was a mystery, like now there's this other mystery. So overall, I'm very proud that Hedron Deployer is part of the team. Whether that's for their own, wanting to capture the upside of team or in some way to kind of use it as a competitive advantage for their own ecosystem. No matter what they do, that's all part of the game, and that's what trustless, permissionless DeFi is. And it's better that entity. While we don't know who the head deployer is, or who controls the keys, or what is into that decision making, at least it's somebody whose face is out there, who's in the ecosystem, trying to make things better, trying to introduce new things for users, new ways for people to speculate, new opportunities, and at least it's someone that so far has a track record of being a positive contributor to our ecosystem. It'd be a little bit weirder if like it was some like unknown, unnamed thing that was like competing from outside of Hex. Like if it's gonna, if those funds are gonna go to a competitor, it's at least it's one of our own. You know what I mean? And I would prefer that to like some external force, accumulating those funds. Um, but so like as of now, so let's look at the numbers. Um, so as of now, we have 182 million X in the pools. That's up like 20 million from yesterday. Almost 20,000 T-shirts across the pools. Total team minted almost 50 million, 49.86 million, and we have the Hedron Deployer in the lead. So excluding the mystery box team of the 49 million, and they have 5.55, so 5.55 divided by 49.86. So as of now, the Hedron Deployer has 11% of all user minted team. And that is, it's actually pretty equivalent to the amount of MAXI they have relative to the whole. So when we go to the Maximus contract, the Maximus holders, they now have 7.29% of their total. And so yeah, so I mean, they have their percent of the total of user minted coins. They have about 7% of that. So they're a dominant player in our ecosystem, um, and I'm quite proud that it's better that while certainly they could hold and leverage those coins as like a competitive edge, where they may try to use it to you know limit APY and team staking or limit price run. It's like they can only do that for so long. Sure they can, they could they could have longer lasting impact on the APY than on the price. Once they sell all their coins, they're out. APY, they can always stake, but wouldn't that be nice? If those coins being illiquid, they're not for sale, and then so if they're not competing as a seller, perhaps that lets the price run a bit. So it's kind of this trade off where kind of no matter what they do, there's some benefit. Where if they hold all their coins liquid, there's risk that they could sell at any time. So that's detrimental to the people who are looking for a sell opportunity in team. Um, but it increases the APY for everyone else staking team. Or on the flip side, if they were to stake all their team, that lowers the APY for everyone else on staking team, but um, it increases the potential for the price to go up. So it's kind of like either way you can benefit, and but it's all their choice, and there should never be any shit. No matter what they do with their coins, nobody should ever shame them for anything. If they dump all their coins, there should be no shame. Their coins, their keys, their cheese, their choice. And so I don't want to hear any shaming on them for anything that they choose to do with those coins. Much like you wouldn't want anyone to shame you for doing what you choose to do with the private keys that you are in possession of. So all possible things are all part of the game. And if you've been listening to the channel for a while, you know that I love this because there's so much uncertainty. Like my take on uncertainty, where uncertainty creates volatility, volatility creates opportunity, opportunity invites liquidity, and so the like any time that there's uncertainty, I view that as a positive. And now there's kind of this big 5.55 million team uncertainty in our ecosystem, and you know, I only view that as a positive thing. Because that's like the whole premise of everything we build is that like we're prepared for best case scenario and worst case scenario, and so we don't view this as like a negative at all. Some people in the chat were kind of concerned. They're like, oh, now there's like another big whale. It's like, okay, those are their coins. Like, this is all part of the game. Like, that could have been you. Why didn't you accumulate those coins? And so overall, very exciting development. There's some pretty funny memes coming out about this. I mean, this one, J Plus says, when you find out the Hedron Deployer minted 5.5 million team. That was literally my face. It's so funny. And then I follow up. I'm like, now I can finally sleep at night. Or he's probably thinking about other girls. What is the Hedron Deployer going to do with their big bag of Maxi? Will they mint team? Will they hoard? Will they nuke? So a lot of fun, you know. Regardless of what happens, I'm just grateful to be in this moment with Alex, with all of you. Like, we could have been anywhere else in the world right now. We could have been anywhere else in the timeline of all the universe. Like, your state of being could have existed at any time in the whole history of the universe, yet we're here right now in this moment, in this place together. And that to me is enough. And I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful for all the people that are just in this little orbit, because that's really special. Like of all the infinite number of people or things that we could have been around, it's like we're around each other. And I think there's a special connection there. So I'm grateful for for all of you. Grateful for Alex. Grateful for Hedron. And quite the experience. Let's go to the chat. Arts Max is Tonto. What's up, dude? Epic. Together we unite. Let's go. I heard it yesterday while I was driving. Cool, you're replaying it today. Sorry to replay your moment saying that you had more dry powder than you wish you did. Dave says, can't wait to see the amount of t-shirts I have after MAXI burn. Yeah, let's see what that'll be. So if the burn is going to be 9.97, 9.97 divided by 293, that's about 3.4% is set to be burnt. So, and if we know that there was 293, 123 divided by, or t-shirts for Maxi. So if it was 42,100 divided by 293, so that is about 0.123, so 0.00014 t-shares per Maxi. And then if that's increasing by, so whatever your t-shares are, just increase that by 3.4%, and then that's what you have. Ooh. Bravo, well said. No shaming. Your cheese. Yeah, totally. Like, there's zero shame in doing whatever you choose. Your laugh at the meme you made was hilarious. I was literally cracking up that whole segment. Go back and watch it after. That whole segment where we're just like making memes, laughing about it. See, what's funny is that like the reality of this meme. Let me show you. Where did we make that? Oh, it's right here. This is actually the reality of this. It's more like he's probably no. Okay, this is what the meme is, but this is actually what reality is. Reality. He's probably thinking about this is reality, you guys. Her. He's probably her. He's probably thinking about what is the Hedron Deployer going to do with their big packet MAXI? Will they knit? Will they nuke? And then him. Sure. Love my wife. She is awesome and great. That's actually the meme. That's actually what's going on in my mind. Let's tweet this. Reality. Reality. It's amazing. 20% of that gets burnt. Max just got so much more valuable. Yeah, about 3.4% more valuable on terms of redemption. And then as far as how the market prices that in, You know, who knows what that is? Two Negative asks, where does the diamond hands yield come from? So that comes from the early unlock penalties in the diamond hands. So say you join the diamond hands contract, and so you're committing to hold your, let's say, trio, for instance. So if you join the trio diamond hands, you're committing to hold your trio until the redemption phase. And so if you don't hold your trio, so if you early unlock from the diamond hands, then you experience a penalty. So that's the majority of the, or not the majority. That's like the common source of diamond hands yield. But also the diamond hands contract is set up to support airdrops from the Maximus team community. So perhaps to incentivize people to mint in the perpetuals and join the diamond hands club, perhaps the team community will just send a little bit of team in there as like a little extra bonus. So rather than, you know, team members have historically talked about, like, you know, different types of like campaigns that they can run to try to increase adoption of the perpetuals. Just one simple way is just to incentivize them directly with these diamond hands. It's like an airdrop to diamond hands stakers. So, so that's the other source of income. Any coins that go into that can be redeemed. That includes X, all the pools, Hedron, MAXI, and Team. So it can come from anywhere. Man, you're oh, I was having a good time. Also, quite delirious. I feel like I've been on this like 14-day bender in this launch. Actually, longer. Just like getting it all ready to launch, streaming for like 6 hours a day. This bright ass light in my face for 6 hours a day. I need like blue blockers. Maybe I should turn it off. Do I need the light? Is it better with the light? Yes. Maybe I should put on my shades. I can't see. Jesus, no shaming. Respect DC. Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, I mean, you know, you shouldn't shame anyone. Like the whole premise of crypto is whoever's in control of keys, it's their choice. That's hilarious. Yeah, people were talking about it. RH, if you're still in the chat, what did you guys say about it? Like, what was your guys' thought? XLF says, do you think Team will have a higher token value than Maxi? So it doesn't really matter what I think is going to happen, because also my prediction is just as good as yours. You know, it's impossible to predict. You know, Maxi price is basically hex price times earnings, and team price is purely based on supply and demand. So if there's a lot of demand and shrinking supply, then the team token absolutely can have a higher value than Maxi. But it could also have a lower value. You know, what if there's no demand? Price could go down. So it's impossible to predict. You know, but the team token, if these perpetual pools grow over time, and perhaps new perpetual pools get launched and increase the earning capacity of team for staking, and that makes the team staking more desirable. And because when you stake your team, you have to, you know, first acquire it, so buy it, and then lock it up for a year at a time. The amount of team for sale could go quite low. And if there's a lot of demand, low circulating supply, then you absolutely could have a higher token value. So, you know, it's impossible to predict what happens. But what I like about Team is that it's not like just tied to the value of X. You know, it has the chance to outperform X. So that's what I like about it. This is something that I kind of brought up yesterday. It's wild that the rest of the world is acting risk off. Meanwhile, the Hexagons are very risk on. And you see that even in, with like the ICOSA launch recently, you see it with the, there's, if each MAXI is, each MAXI is about 2-to-1 on Hex. So like the Hex value of the total MAXI that's been entered into the team, it's almost, it's about like 100 million Hex value. And that is almost the size of DECI in terms of the, just it may exceed it, because what's the MAXI price? Holy shit! It got high today. It hit like 2.3 today. Very shortly, so it's probably just like an instant wick up and then wick right down. Yeah, it was only up there for a couple minutes. But so it's 2.2 hex. So if we have 49.58 times 2.2, that's literally like 110 million hex worth of value has been deposited into the team contract, and that's equal to the amount of hex that's been pulled into DECI. And because team is not just like a hex stake pool, DECI is fully backed by the hex, and it's backed by the hex that's earning at the highest rate possible. It's much less risky than team. Team is a much higher risk, higher reward type of play, and so team, no matter how you slice and dice it, I may sometimes sound persuasive that team is about team, but like by fact, it is more risky than just holding the pools, because the pools are Hex, and Hex by now has a 3-year track record. It's kind of already had its 0-to-1 moment. And the systemic risk is quite low. It's like already has like a critical mass of users. Whereas team is much newer. There's only, this is a bit up like 136 from yesterday, but there's only 1,500 people in team, whereas there's 100,000 people in Hex. So team is riskier, but an equal amount of value has gone into team versus DECI, which is pretty compelling. And what that means is that like Hexagons are looking for higher, and you see with all these other coins that people are like aping into and all this stuff, like there is really high risk appetite in Hex right now. And I think what that comes from is, one, just like because like a big part of the Hexagon marketing for so long was like that 10,000x. Like early on, it was like designed to do 10,000x, and then when even though like barely anyone captured the 10,000x move, a small number of people actually did, but the price chart, if you actually measure it from the very tip of the bottom to the very tip of the top, it does exceed that 10,000x. It's like Hex kind of attracts people that want that ultra high performer. And so just in general, compared to other markets, the Hex kind of self-selects for people that have a lot more appetite for risk. So that's probably part of it. But two, because Hex is so far off the high, and a lot of Hex users got in last year, it's like they want to reclaim that value, and so they want to take on more and more risk for that chance of happening. And since like team is higher risk than just holding Hex, and because it has that like kind of potentially infinite income to team stakers divided by deflationary team supply, the team is very attractive. And it's higher risk, higher reward, and so that's like in this type of environment, that's why there's so much demand for it. And sometimes I wish that the mint phase was shorter, so that even less people could get in the mint, because then all the people that get in after the mint, it's like that's what's moving the price up. Everyone minting right now, they're not moving the price up. So the there we go. Um, so yeah, overall, there seems to be very high risk appetite in Hex, and you see it with all like kind of proliferation of other coins in the ecosystem. They're targeting Hexagons, and people are like going after off the highs. People want to reclaim that value. self-selection of just people that are just in general have higher risk appetite. And you see here with, the value that's been minted in the team is equivalent to the value that's minted in this. And so there's a lot of signals that Texans are very eager for risk. Meanwhile, the rest of us kind of shutting down. And I think that really speaks to our strength and resolve and how we look at the future. We think there's a positive future ahead of us. Meanwhile, the rest of the world is just kind of settling. So Retrostatics is a staker out looking into MAXI. So I will read you what staker app said, and then because I did not want to talk about it until it was a done deal. It was live in the app, but yeah, this week I did talk to them about integrating Maximus and the Perpetuals into their app. So we have we definitely go back a long way. I first talked to Steph on one of the big payday 24-hour live stream way back in 2020, and yeah, so hopefully this all comes to fruition and that this actually happens. So we shall see when hopefully one day we all wake up, we refresh Staker app, and there's all your Maxi coins. How many wallets own DECI? Let's see. I wish we could do. Let's go to team dashboard. Let's do this. We're gonna add every time I wish that I had this sign. Add a link here. What we're going to do is we're just going to add a link here so we can quickly go to all the ether scans on here. Try to add another row to this column here. Let's see how this goes. So we're going to add another column here. We're going to have a name. And then let's make it maybe we want this one to be at the top. No, actually. You know what? We're not going to do this. Yeah. So maybe we can just add a little link here. Yeah, let's just add this. We'll make it really small. We'll give it a little icon. This says maybe let's see if this Okay, we'll do that later. I don't want to do too much on that right now, but we can just find it like this. Team. So let's get these addresses. So wait, this is the Maximus token. We need to go to this one. Let's just get the addresses right here. Pool addresses. So for DECI, he asked. So DECI has 928 holders. Let's see the others. DECI, Lucky's the smallest one. Lucky has 562. Trio has 676. And Base has 714. 927 holding address in DECI. Crypto Dave says, what do you think about the other POW for Fair Ethereum, the coins ETF? I've never heard of this. Let us see. Don't want to just connect my wallet. Wait, let's see what this says. Ethereum's merge gave its first I've heard of it. Newly launched Ethereum Fair gathers USD value and hash power. Another one for Fair. Ethereum Fair price in the dirt. That's okay. Free. I mean, I don't know. Is it a true system safe for? Who knows? So here, 1 second, guys. My wife needs my help with something. I'll be back in 1 moment. 1 moment. All right, sorry, guys. Cedar Ramona asks, can you explain how one should feel good about having already staked team to now see a massive potential staker who will dilute the yield enormously? So they could dilute it by only about 10% of what it was. So that's enormous too. Yeah. But also, I mean, everybody knew that that was a possibility. Like 100% of all the MAXI could have been minted in the team. So that should have just been priced in from the start. Um, so not about whether or not you feel good about it, but it's like it was all a possibility from the start, and so there should have been no expectations that any MAXI holder wouldn't have minted their team. You should have done the math on what happens if everyone mints versus what happens if nobody mints. So yeah, I mean it is competitive, but it's like they have that MAXI. So I have news from the future. T-shirt is printing 25 hex a day in 7 years. Might be a stretch. Might be a total stretch. I don't know. My baseline assumption is that the daily payout for T-share will only go down. Because I think that just, especially as these pools grow, that I think the staker class is going to grow at a faster rate than that payout increases with the just like baseline inflation. So, but hopefully it goes up, because then that just amplifies everyone's earnings. But my assumption is that it will trend down. Cedar wants to spread up. Yeah, I mean that was all part of the rules, and it's like outside of that, they do represent 11% of the total, but it's like 5 million team could have just been minted from a hand, like all the addresses that minted their Watson, and then that MAXI ended up in the Hedron Deployer. Those people could have just individually minted team on their own. It's like it doesn't matter where the team came from; it's all there. So it is it may have that effect of dilution on the yield if they stake. I mean, have they staked it? No, I mean they're holding it liquid, at least right now. So it's while it does, I don't really view it as diluting, because it's not like anything had been set yet. Like because then in that case, like you by you minting, you diluted all the people that happened to stake or join the team before you did, and I don't really view that as dilution, because it's just like whatever it is, and um, there were other, like the whole where you had to have MAXI to mint. That was in a way to just like prevent too many people from minting team, because so you had to first have the MAXI, and so that kind of asserts some type of limit, and that increases future potential gains. And so consider that the dilution protection. So all team stakers, regardless of size, will get back 30% of MAXI provided for 9 years. Yeah, I mean, so, and it could be even higher if there's less people stake. Because think about it, what if during that year just there's so much demand for staking, the price just goes up a lot, and then as a result of the price going up, people early unlock their team, and then they lose out on that year's payout. Maybe they sold into the pump, but there could be less than like all the minters. Like it just like for example, just say the mystery box doesn't stake. The and so if 100% of the everyone else does fit here, let's pull this flow graphic. So in this chart, we show we break it up between like the mystery box and everyone else. And so, say 100% of the mystery box stakes and 100% of everyone else stakes. In that setting, you would only get 15% of the MAXI back. But also, what's the price if 100% of people stake, right? If 50% of everyone and 50% of the mystery box stake, or if the mystery box didn't stake and 100% of everyone else staked, it would be about 30%. So like in either of these scenarios, it comes out to 30%. But what if like, 50% of people stake that are not mystery box and mystery box doesn't stake? So 1%. That is just because zero, it didn't make sense with zero. It's easier to just make sense of it with one. 1%. So say half the people stake and mystery box doesn't stake, then that MAXI rebate is 0.58% for the people that do stake. Or what if for some reason 1% of team mentors stake and 1% of mystery box stakes, then the payout to the staker is 15 MAXI. So like, say a more reasonable number of, like say the current percent of team stake comes out to like 70%, and say the mystery box doesn't stake, that would put these earnings at like that MAXI rebate across these years at somewhere in between these two, between 0.3 and 0.6. So maybe that's like, I don't know, 0.5 perhaps, 0.45. So it all depends on what the stake rate is that year of people that successfully stake. Zero says, much appreciated, even more respect for brilliant creation. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Our Hedron tradable NFT stakes the main thing holding up individual staking. I think it's bearish for Hex. There's no trust in individual staking, right? So I'm sure that it accounts for a lot of it, especially with that Costa. It really didn't account for a lot. There wasn't that much HSI staking activity before Costa. There was some, but not like how we've seen lately. And there is for larger holders, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of, it is kind of bearish for Hex, right? Because it's like, kind of like a huge negative externality to cost that limits participation. And it's not like staking longer helps, like staking longer hurts. So, it is like it is a problem in that, but it is a solution. That's cool. I think that counters like that there are solutions that any type of bearishness about that topic kind of countered with um, with the large or with the solution that we presented. Paul's up saying, "Oh, for larger orders, what's large over I don't know. I view large as like 1,000,000 plus, but even then, like he's still high. So I don't know. I mean, the consolidation mistakes in the corporate. Picture to reality. The deployer can dump max to zero. I don't care because I get my X in 15 years, and you get a chance to run it back. What if they did dump it to zero, like truly zero, and like not just to one? Like what if it like let's do this. So here, let's see. So the so here's the MAXI chart, and let's do it on the monthly so we can see the full year. Okay, so MAXI stake ends in 2037. I think that a nice conservative estimate on the end value. So let's go change this from. So let's bring this down to 1 exactly. So I think a nice conservative value for the end redemption rate is going to be 6. Other people think it's going to be higher, but me, I like to go on the low end. And so this yellow line just kind of tracks the earnings up until it's in June of 2037 or July. So this is like the to-date earnings, and if they chose to dump the MAXI price, they could like here, let's go see. Um, okay, see what type of impact they could do on this price. Let's say how much they have left, like 23 million or no, 21 million. Oh, because I'm not on the network. On ETH dub, I need to go on ETH main. Can we pull that? Yes, it's just going to match instead. How much they can actually extract. So let's switch MAXI. So if they dump 21, 23, 23. So if they did that, they would only get out 8.73 million hex. So let's see. So that over 21, 23, 23. I'll put the price at 41% of what it is. No, that would put that would take the price down here. So say that they absolutely just in a single order, which there's no way they do that because they're way smarter than that. But they could send the price down to like these levels. And then that means that people that buy that huge discount, they could experience a 13x on the hex to buy that till redemption compared to the people that minted who they're only experiencing like a 6x. So anytime it's below this yellow line, you're gonna achieve a higher performance than just like staking on your own. If its price ever goes below the 1-to-1 rate, like you don't think there's gonna be people stepping in to buy that right back up? Um, kind of regardless of what happened, like 'cause that absolutely can happen. Nothing's stopping it. And I think people would actually be pretty happy. The people that needed to sell their Maxi tokens in that moment would probably be in a bad situation. But then it's just like another opportunity for new people to step in and take possession of those coins. So it's kind of like what's the worst they can do? Like give everyone a big deal? Like people probably do that. So the staker app may be seeing a decrease in new stakers. That's why they want it out for the Perpetuals. I mean, it could be. Also, they have looked into solutions for some type of like stake pooling and stuff like this, and but they never kind of did that after all. But they did say they like the solution we have. So it is a Tiago says having problems with audio. You sound like a robot. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Hope it's all good. Hi, I saw your stream on a possible replay attack. Does it mean it's safe to play on ETH with a new account on the seed phrase someone sacrificed with? Yeah, I mean, so in general, you should just you shouldn't do anything on your one that you sacrificed with, like just in general, not because of replay attack, but just because like you may mess up, and if you're not careful, and just you may mess up and screw something up. So in general, you should do something separate. If that's just like the only one you do, you should be fine. Just like being on EW, the replay attack, like that couldn't cause you to like have critical issue. But just be careful with what things you like sign approvals on and what links you click. Like it's kind of a pennies in front of freight train thing. If you're just like clicking on any ETH POW thing that you see out there, um, but but yeah, so you should be fine, but I mean, be careful. Like aside from the replay attack thing, just be careful. Like don't, especially with your wallet that you're doing sacrifice stuff with. So Tiago says, yeah, it's better like that. Word in your replies. It means my small bag of teammate shit. Yeah, it is, dude. It is. Oh, they did a cool video. Let's see this. I met Bobby in Vegas, and she's awesome. Wish we could have spent more time talking, but there was like somewhere in here.
For stakers. So we built Maximus Staples, which are trustless smart contracts that enable people to stake their hex together to earn more yield and save on gas, maximizing bonuses, instant liquidity, gas and savings, community owned. You can think of Maximus Staples as one giant stake. Your tokens hold ownership and can redeem its value of the hex principal plus earn interest from the stake in. To expand Maximus DAO and offer new opportunities for hex, we are introducing 4 new stake pools called Perpetuals, and you'll find out why. Base is a 1-year stake, Trio is a 3-year stake, Lucky is a 7-year, and DECI is a 10-year. These pools will start just like MAXI with the mint phase. All the hex will be staked and begin earning yield. But what makes these new and innovative is that we are introducing auto compounding yield. So when those stakes end, you have three options. You can either redeem all or a portion of your HEX principal plus your interest. You can leave your HEX in the pool and be auto restaked into the next term, or you can mint more pool tokens into that pool at the new mint rate, which is equal to the current redemption value of that pool token. You can think of these pools as a flexible staking ladder. A staking ladder is a strategy many already use, so you can redeem trustless X yield periodically, or simply sell your tokens at any time. Again, bigger bonuses, gas fee savings, and instant liquidity.
This is exciting as it adds great use cases for hex takers and helps solve one of Hex's greatest challenges. Yes, the project received over 100 million hex and concludes on September 24th. Check out Maximus DAO Launch here. All founders or before we go.
What an awesome channel. I love the production quality on that. That's so cool. Tiago says, my plan EW is just going hard on Perpetuals and Hedron. Yeah, not a bad strategy. Did you buy any Hex or ETH on EPAL? I did. I sent some money to Kraken, swapped for ETH and then bought Hex and Hedron. Hex, I just sacrificed all for DECI. I'm Friday liquidity with Hedron plus PW, and it's really lucrative. You on research. Thanks for the insights there. That's so funny. Great positive news. Watching all the clips yesterday. Great stuff. Yeah, pretty wild. See what these numbers are now. We did have another million team minter, so we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 team millionaires, and who knows what's happening. We've got 8 days left. This is like the longest mint phase ever. Got 8 days left. Who knows what future shakeups we see? It's a pretty cool number that I like considering is that of our 1,538 team minters, they have 63 million MAXI still on the sidelines. So think about it, every MAXI that's not in the perpetual or not in team is MAXI that can then push the price up in the future. So sure, about a third of it is the Hedron Deployer. So who knows what they do? What if they provide a lot of liquidity? That's something they could do. Like, what if they simply, let's see if they have a history of liquidity. Let's see. Is this the Hedron Deployer? Yeah, F4. So looks like, yeah, let's refresh this and see if they've done anything new. Yeah, I mean, they just basically minted team and did nothing else. See their outgoing transactions. Download this. No, we don't know. Let's do show 100 per page. Let's see what else they've done. So their only outgoing transaction is this. Is the minting of the team. And they sent 500,000 USDC to this address, which as nothing. Oh, to Coinbase. So 50K to Coinbase. So they've sent 300K, 80. Okay, so the total sum 50K, 300K, so 350, 430. So just under $1 million of USDC to Coinbase is what the Hedron Deployer's only other outgoing. They also sent, let's see, these are all the same thing. So they sent 5 million hex and 50 million Hedron to the liquidity pools. So they're supplying 5 million hex and 50 billion Hedron in the liquidity pool. So pretty wild, absolutely wild. Pair with EW, pair what? All right, you guys. Does anyone else have any more questions? Because I think I'm gonna get off and do some chores around the house that I've been neglecting for the last 2 weeks. I've been in total neglect mode. All my friends and family, all my day-to-day responsibilities. A dog wants to play with me more. I'm like, hey girl, I got to stream. My wife wants to hang out with me more. I'm like, hey girl, I got to stream. Just missed a call from my dad. I got to call him back. So unless anyone else has any more questions, I may wrap this one up. Probably going to stream later this evening, but I kind of need to um, do some stuff now. CD says thanks. August is the mentioned dashboard. Let's look at that real quick. So compare it with ETH. So yeah, you can mint on the ePow. So I shared them earlier in the chat. ePow-perpetuals.maximus.cash or ePow-team.maximus.cash. So just add ePow- to the current minting dashboards, and you can do that. Thanks, love. Later. Thanks for your time, Hexo. Hey man, thank you too. And we'll chat soon. We missed each other this morning, but we'll catch up in a little bit. Celtex, this is naughty. Peppy says thanks for all the updates. Take some time. Name says peace out. I'm going on a date with my wife. Yeah, that's smart. Everyone should go on more dates with their wives. All right, you guys. I had an awesome time today. I'll probably stream a little later today if you want to catch up with that one. Might do some live coding. Got some work we got to do to get ready for the diamond hands. Let's look at the numbers one last time before we sign off here. $182 million hex in the pools. 49.88 million team has been minted, and of that, 34 million is staked. Almost 10 million MAXI will be burnt. Once we reach 50 million team, we'll have 10 million MAXI burnt and 15 million held in the 369 MAXI escrow for the rebate. 1,538 team members. A lot of dry powder on the sideline. That's what you want to see. If you're a team holder, you want to see dry powder. Top 100 users all have above 93,000 team. So 200 Top 200 has above 42,000. Top 300 is 25,000. Top 400 is 15. 500, 11. Top 600 is 10. So about halfway through would be what, like 7 of these pages? Yeah, like 7-ish, 6,000, 5,000. Yeah, so the median is around between 5 and 6,000. Maximum is 5.555 million. And the minimum, let's see the smallest. Like, what are you guys doing? Come on. But hey. Oh, so I mean, some of these people, okay, so like this person, they may have minted a little bit, but since they have 20,000 stake, that means that they've received 20,000. So, because like what this shows is that it builds the list of addresses from people that have minted. So there could be more people that held just by buying it or transferring it to themselves. But this is like all the people that minted. That's weird. There was a lot of these 134s. What's that about? What are they doing? There's no benefit to doing that. A lot of 250, a lot of big round numbers, you know, but yeah, I mean, to me, I think the most important thing right now is keep growing the size of these pools. The more hex that's staked in here, the less negative externalities there are in the future. Staking the pools is very important. Not only do you get some awesome benefits as an individual user, but you are contributing to a healthier Hexican economy. What's the saying? Like, ask not what you can do for, ask not what Hexago can do for you. Ask what can you do for Hexago. That's kind of the same sentiment with one of these pools. XLove puts a price target at $1 team. Dude, why the bearish price target? Whenever I'm trying to come up with a team price, I'm like, hey Siri, what's the largest number?
The biggest number in the world.
There you had it, folks. Siri with the financial advice. All right, so we'll leave it there. Congratulations to everyone who's participated so far. It's an amazing moment. What a time we're living in. So grateful to be here with you all. If you have any questions, follow me on Twitter. Find me at Dipcatcher. If you haven't yet, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that share button. MaximusDAO.com. Do not get scammed by scammers. They will send you fake links. They will pose as me in the chat. If you need help, only get help in the public rooms. Do not accept DMs. If you have a question, anyone who DMs you is going to try to scam you. So do not do that. Peppy says peace out. And with that, peace out to all of you. We'll talk to you soon.